What do you understand by mensuration? We all come across various shapes in our life, which includes rectangles, squares, triangles, and lot more. But a very important question arises that how do we measure these shapes? We measure these shapes by their length, breadth, or area. Mensuration is the measurement of the dimensions, area, and various other parameters of any closed figure. Let us say we have to build a fence around this field. For that, we will have to measure the length of the boundary, which is nothing but the total distance around the field. Let us take another example. In order to know the length of the ribbon required to cover the border of a table mat, we should find the total distance around the table. Therefore, the total distance around any closed figure is known as perimeter. Where else do we use perimeter? While putting up Christmas lights around the house, or fencing the backyard garden, or while finding the total length of the boundary of the football field, we need to know the perimeter. By now we have understood that to build a fence around a garden, we need to find its perimeter, which is the distance of boundary of the shape. But if you want to re-turf the garden, how much grass will you require? For that, we will need to know the total space inside the garden. Now let us compare the two rectangles. Can you tell which rectangle is bigger? By seeing both the rectangles, we can say that rectangle B is bigger by just observing the amount of space inside the boundary. It is more than the space inside the boundary of rectangle A. Therefore, we can say that area is the space occupied inside the boundary of simple closed shapes. Let us understand with another example. If we have to put tiles on the floor of a room, we need to know the number of tiles that will fit into its surface. This depends upon the amount of surface enclosed by the floor, which means we will have to find its area. Let's pause and think. We understand now that perimeter is the distance around the boundary and area is surface occupied by a shape. Let us conclude. Mensuration is the measurement of the dimensions, area, and various other parameters of any closed figures. We calculate the perimeter and area in our daily life to find out how much wire is required to fence a field, the number of tiles to be put on the floor in a room, the length of the ribbon required to cover the border of a table mat, the total space acquired by different shapes, and comparing them.